College athletics are currently dominated by two factors: name, image, and likeness deals, also known as NIL, and the transfer portal. This has had an effect on college programs in different ways, such as the recruiting process, roster depth, funding, and putting players on the field for years to come. I chose this topic not just because I'm a college athlete, but a lifelong fan of collegiate sports, and I've seen these two factors change college sports over the past several years. I personally dislike both NIL and the transfer portal, and I believe that these things should either be reformed or even removed from collegiate athletics. They have numerous negative effects, such as athletes not fully committing to a school and turning their back on the school instead of being loyal, athletes looking at the opportunity to play in college as a business instead of a chance to play a college sport, or a lack of hard work and effort in order to play for their team and instead transferring to another school. When it comes to disloyalty, athletes usually out of high school or junior college commit to a school and are expected to fulfill that commitment for 3 to 4 years. However, with the takeover of NIL and the transfer portal, athletes are leaving the colleges they commit themselves to. Athletes should be proud to go to their school and should want to help their program pursue a championship. They should remain at that college to make their team successful and stay loyal to their teammates and their coaches, having an effect on both the present and the future of the team. Dan Hurley, the head coach of UConn, one of the most winning programs in the past 30 years in college basketball, is known to have worked the transfer portal effectively without blocking the growth of too many players on his own roster. When it comes to playing time and the NIL side of things, nowadays athletes are looking at different colleges as a business opportunity. With NIL paving a way for athletes to earn money, colleges aren't being looked at for their coaching staff, player development, facilities, or even the culture, but instead how much money a player can make. Scalzo explains that personally he wouldn't enter the transfer portal unless he had offered a large amount of money, but nowadays colleges do that, and even though it is frowned upon and should not happen, it's legal for them to do that. Athletes don't play the game for the love of the game like they used to. Now they play for a paycheck. Even though athletes should play to make money down the line in professional sports, it should not influence the way that they look at their college experience now. They should focus on playing their sport and having success rather than making a certain amount of money while they're in college. Fazilpour says, so you can keep your eye on the prize, which is continue playing. The more you play, the more you advance, the bigger your brand grows. When it comes to attitude and effort, I've always been taught to work hard and give my full effort, and if I don't play or have success, that's my own fault. That idea is fading away this day and age with the transfer portal. It's an easy way for athletes to get out who aren't getting playing time at their current school. One of the athletes in an interview was stated saying, you're a freshman. Stuff is not supposed to go right. You're still trying to figure things out. So you might as well try to stay and figure things out. At least fight for something instead of giving up easily. The transfer portal is giving guys such an easy option just to leave if something's not going the right way. Transferring due to a lack of playing time shows weakness, and it says a lot about the athlete's work ethic and mindset. If an athlete shows persistence to get on the field, they will have more success and a brighter future, not just in sports, but in life. When it comes to the current events, there's currently a freshman at the University of South Carolina, Dylan Stewart, who is on the football team and pursuing a 7-figure NIL deal. This proves how bad the landscape of college sports are. The football program is throwing money at a player to keep them from transferring to another school, and this is not how a collegiate athletic program should be ran. In a report from NACOS, he said, with the transfer portal set to open in a month, South Carolina's NIL collective Garnet Trust is opening negotiations with Stewart's camp to ensure he is back in Columbia for a sophomore season, which he is now. Negotiations are in the early stages, but sources tell One that Dylan Stewart is expected to command $1 to $1.5 million on his second-year deal. When it comes to a Christian worldview, athletes who are focused on NIL deals and transferring to colleges in order to play more and make more money are worried about the wrong things at a young age. College athletics are a time in an athlete's career where they can play the sport they love while focusing on their future at the same time. Whether that's a future in professional sports or a future career they will pursue after they receive their education. However, NIL and the portal have become a distraction for college athletes and show a weak mindset that some may have. Many athletes in the game today have been disloyal to their programs by leaving them at a time that can be very beneficial to that program. They turn their back on the program they committed to, and that is a weak sign of character, especially for a young adult. The traditional way of college athletics is being ruined by these two things because of the way it affects those athletes. Athletes who aren't holding themselves accountable. They run away from their problems, such as not getting to play, so they transfer. Instead, they should work hard and give effort to earn a spot to play. They should face those problems head on. It also shows a lack of dependability that coaches will have for the athlete. And that could result in employers in future jobs not trusting athletes who would leave their team behind when they need them most. There are many bad traits that have come from the NIL and transfer portal, and it has hurt college sports and athletes more than it has actually helped. Hopefully these two things are changed in the future in a positive way.